What is up, Jabronis? JJ back here with special guest. Some of you know him as Holden Kushner. Mr. Holden, I know you took a lot of weeks off this show in a row. God bless you for that. Any excuses or any reasons why you've been unable to join the show, or you're just going to
plead the Keg has more clout than you, and when he threatens me, I'm more afraid of him than you. So I decided to work with Keg for a few weeks and do some NASCAR, maybe the first 6 weeks of the season. And now I'm back, though. I've been demoted. I've been put back on this show, and that's fine. Things happen. We'll have a good show today. I know Joey's out hanging with his mommy. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. I don't know what you did for your mom, but as I said on the earlier show, my parents are going to be laying pipe later, so I had to get my call in early so I didn't disturb them.
Yeah, card always goes out to mommy and grandma. So
I did not send my mom a card.
Yeah, I mean, I'll likely sync up at some point in the very near future. But yeah, so again, it was a little weird weekend for me because Father Time was in town, so definitely changed things on my end. But all in all, good to hear. Holden, you're in the family graces.
Who is in town? Father Time?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Fax man. Dad.
Oh.
What the hell else would Father Time mean?
Father Time is like time, like on a more existential level, but it's father. But I've absolutely come in here and dragged the show down to the floor. It's a slow start for us.
I think people expect it, though. I don't think it's you. I think it's you combined with me. Yeah. I think it's just the show slows down.
Your cross is not big enough, so maybe next week you can just wear a big Jesus T-shirt, and I'll notice that a little bit less. Good job on that. Love the change.
It's hard to tell if you're sarcastic or not, because if the cross got any bigger, it would bang against the
No, I'm being no. I wish it were a little bigger, but I'd much prefer the Jesus shirt. And then your necklaces are just amazing. Just amazing. Holden's haircut makes her look like a butch lesbian. I don't even know what that means.
You see, this is what I've missed.
What does that mean?
This is the part of the show that I've missed.
Yeah.
I think you could put a 2 and 2 together. No?
Was he saying that I look like a butch lesbian, or that my haircut on a woman would make them look like a butch lesbian?
Did you change your pronouns and not tell anybody?
I am so against that shit. Yeah, I'm a fucking boy because I got a cock, and that's it. I'm a he.
Okay. So River, next time just say Holden's haircut makes him look like
get the pronouns right, River Rat.
Yeah, Holden's a big pronoun guy, so let's make sure we get those correct.
Yeah.
Start
calling me they. How about that?
You might piss off a certain group of people there, Holden.
Oh, I don't know. I honestly, God, don't know what people that is, but it sounds like we're going into a gray area, and we should just probably go into the baseball side of things.
I'm ready when you are.
Girls say it's necklaces, not chains. You have necklaces?
I do refer to them as
those are chains.
Yeah, I do refer to. If I might have said, did one of us say necklaces? Maybe we did.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even know. Either way, I'm ready for the slate if you are, Holden.
I mean, whatever. No better time than now. There's no better time. Oh, we got a couple things to get into before we do that, though. First of all, weather today, especially for the early games on the East Coast, and then I guess we could throw Cleveland and Minnesota in there. We're talking cold temps, like 40s, upper 40s, low 50s, double-digit winds blowing in, JJ. So I think we have to keep that in mind when we're talking about all these games that are early. A lot of weather situations, not with rain, but wind blowing in and cold.
I agree. I mean, yesterday, we hit the Boston under primarily. That was primarily because of weather. I mean, the main handicap on that game was weather. I mean, the weather was going to be brutal there. The heavy wind blowing in, cold. To me, I wouldn't have cared who was pitching in that game. You're going to throw a total of 8 in that type of weather. I'll take that. And of course, I ended up sweating it because the game went extra innings. But either way, it was nice. But weather's a big factor, and it still is. I mean, the global warming bros are somewhere definitely not circle jerking each other right now because it is cold on the East Coast.
Dude, honestly, May is now like April. Everything's pushed back. It's warm in November. Don't start knocking the climate change.
Are you one of those? Are you like a DiCaprio? You're like big into global warming?
Well, I mean, there's fires everywhere here in Denver, and it never happened like this before. So it'd be nice to stop them. That's maybe
Touché.
Some less, a little cooler, a little less wind. Oh, Keg's in here too. Hi, Keg. How are you, pal? Like I said, I got demoted to this show. Apologies for you, Keg. And apparently I said it was your necklaces. I like your necklaces. So
you did say necklace. You know what? That's a bit of a boomer word, though. I could see you using that word, so that's fine.
That's a boomer word?
East Coast is horrible. Lola, sit the fuck down. Okay?
Well, first of all, Lola saying that, or that's probably a person. Saying not a bot.
As opposed to a dog?
Yeah, it's not a bot. The East Coast weather is horrible. And second of all, the East Coast does fucking suck. Haven't been back since I moved out. I did go to Florida, but that's a cesspool that they should just give to the prehistoric animals. So yeah, the East Coast sucks. The West.
Well, the good part about Florida is COVID never even hit Florida. So that's the best part about Florida.
Oh my God, that place. You've already hit global warming and COVID. Anything else you'd like to talk pronouns? Would you like to talk abortion, JJ? This is your one shot.
No, if you want, we could talk the Johnny Depp case later on if you'd like.
Oh my God, she pooped in his bed. Did you see that?
I mean, who hasn't? Holden. I mean,
did you see her? She did it on Johnny Depp's side. How amazing was that?
Did you see her crying on the stand this week?
No, I didn't see that, but I did. Something popped up in my YouTube timeline. It's like Amber Heard pooped in Johnny Depp's bed, and then I watched the 12-minute thing, and it was just so uncomfortable, just wonderful. From what I understand, she's a complete whore. Is this true or false?
I'm not going to judge her sexual prowess.
Well, I mean, that doesn't just encompass sexual.
I don't know. I don't know her personally, so
that's the whole thing about whores. People, they get a bad name. It's not just about having a lot of sex. It's about just being a mean person.
I apologize on behalf of Holden being on the show. It's been 10 minutes. We've talked nothing about baseball.
I did. I asked you about the weather. We are currently on fire. It's much better than the East Coast. Holden.
You got to, I mean, Kendrick's just taking an objective take right onto the show. I can appreciate that, Kendrick. Keep up the good work.
Yeah. Well, we're almost out of time, so let's try. They're all whores. Oh my God, you guys are crazy.
Pandora's box.
So there is a game underway that we don't want to talk about, right?
Correct.
Okay, so let's not talk about that game. That would be the White Sox and the Red Sox. Mets Phillies. Let's get into game one here. We do have some doubleheaders. Before we get into this, then. We had 3 doubleheaders yesterday, JJ. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Dodgers, Cubs, Toronto, Cleveland. We got these teams playing today. Do we want to adjust for bullpen usage or anything like that? Or just, all right, new day, new day?
So I mentioned this yesterday. I don't like to bet doubleheader games. If anything, I'll bet maybe the first one, but I never bet the second game. They're very lineup heavy, and especially when it's a Saturday, Sunday thing, because you get the early Sunday and doubleheaders on Saturday. To your point, yeah, it's going to screw up bullpens. Now I do think guys can still pitch 2 days in a row because it's not like guys are going to pitch back in the same day. So I don't think it has that much impact, but the lineups, it definitely has impact. And a Sunday is a day where guys rest anyway. We're seeing some lineups, I don't want to say totally degraded, but some lineups degraded today a bit. But I think that's the biggest difficulty I have with handicapping doubleheaders is the lineups for that second game. That's why I never bet them.
Okay. So the first game then that we would get to would be what? A little Max Scherzer action today.
Yeah.
Mets and Phillies. So this will be game one of a double dip. 1.5. Let's see. We got the run line for the Mets plus 115. 7 is the total. Phillies plus 135 on the money line. Any reason to even go to this game? Again, East Coast, temps in the upper 40s, low 50s, wind blowing in heavily.
Yeah, so it's tough to imagine runs come in this game. Now, granted, this total at 7 would probably be one of the lower totals we'll see this season in this park, which is why I wouldn't bet the under here. With that in mind, though, Kyle Gibson should have some value behind him. I mean, at this number, I don't love the spot specifically. I'd love for it to be just a little higher for him. But you can grab first 5 Kyle Gibson plus a half run in this spot. To me, I do like it. Now, granted, again, you have added variance, right? These pitchers were supposed to throw yesterday. Maybe was this game supposed to be Friday? Has this ever been back-to-back rainouts?
No, I don't remember.
But either way, definitely was supposed to be yesterday and wasn't. So that adds a little bit of variance. But to me, like I said, anytime you can get Kyle Gibson at home, getting a half run basically at a pick'em, to me, it kind of reminds me of the spot yesterday where I targeted Max Fried at home. You get Max Fried at home at a pick'em. I don't care who's pitching against. That's value. And today you're getting Kyle Gibson grabbing a half run or grabbing a run, first 5 or half run. I do like that spot. I wish it was a little higher though, but I do like it.
Okay. That would be the first game. We'll move straight into the second game. Why don't we while we're at it? I'm just going to go right down the DK Sportsbook and use their lines today. It's a lot easier. You know, I usually miss all those games, JJ, at least 1 or 2 times. It'll be impossible for me to just skip over a game now, right? because I actually have them in front of me on one book instead of all of them.
Time will tell on that level of precision.
Because I don't care if you get the best number. You can go shop yourself. I just want to make sure I get to every game. It's been a while since I've done this shit.
Keep up the good work.
Oh, and happy Mother's Day, everybody.
That's the second time you've said it.
Is there a limit?
I guess there's no limit, but the way you sounded, it was like the first time you said it on the show, and I'm just making it clear that it's not.
God, why are you being such a dick today? Can you just be nice?
you gotta fire back.
Can you just be nice?
I took a little pre-workout before the vid. Knew you were going to be on. You just gotta get fired
What's
up.
a pre-workout consist of?
Some of them consist of BCAAs. Most of them consist of beta alanine.
I don't even know what that means.
Some consist of caffeine.
Did you lift?
I tried to lift this morning. I did pull out my back a bit, so you
Did
can't
you?
see it, but I do have a back little heat pad on my back right now.
Yeah.
Maybe I could. Well, you see it? You can see a little bit.
Yeah, we don't give a shit. Put it back.
Just letting you know.
Yeah, well,
Get my
I was
problems
letting
out
people
there.
know Mother's Day is here, and you're sitting here telling us about this stupid heating pad on your back. What'd you do? Bad form on a squat or a deadlift? How'd you hurt your back?
Lightweight deadlift did not go according to plan.
Deadlifts are the worst. I don't do deadlifts anymore. So that's what happens, buddy. Milwaukee and the Braves, Charlie Morton and Aaron Ashby. It is 7.5 with the total here. Weather's not that bad in Atlanta, though, at least. Milwaukee plus 120, Braves minus 140. Ronald Acuna home run plus 375. I'm going to bet that one, JJ. He's on fire, dude. That's not going to be my best bet because I got one that's better that'll lose. But I really like this Ronald Acuna home run prop today.
For this game, so I know yesterday we fired on the Braves, but today I do have some slight value on the Brewers in this spot. And the primary reason for that is Aaron Ashby is actually really good against right-handed bats. He is a polar opposite against lefties. I think this Braves team has 2 lefty bats today in this lineup. Olsen and switch hitting Albies. So to me, I think you have some value there. Charlie Morton obviously is better than his ERA currently shows, but I like what this Brewers team's been hitting. I mean, look at their record. Like they've been playing good baseball. Definitely overexceeding expectations a bit. Like I said, Braves won yesterday, but they did tax a bit of their pen to get there. So to me, some value on the Brewers. You get them a plus 120, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so some value there. I don't like it enough. If it was plus 130, auto fire, because then that would be about 25 cents of value for me. But slight value on the Brewers primarily because of this lineup and how Ashby is typically very good against right-handed bats, and this lineup is typically all right-handed bats for the Braves. But again, not enough true value for me, but slight value there.
DB Gnarly, squatting is fine for you. It's the deadlifts that'll get you. Squatting is fine. All you got to do is act like you're sitting down. Deadlifts, you got to pull up. It's easy to pull your SI joint out. I also recommend that you go on a cycle of Winstrol and Deca.
First of all, I want to put a disclaimer. We are not health aficionados and should not be telling people to take anabolic steroids. So Holden, let's hit the break.
What's wrong with them? What if you just want to try it?
I mean, Holden, how much do you weigh? 140?
You know what? I just went down from 172 to 168. I'm on a diet and I'm working out. Not doing enough cardio, but I'm going on a hike today.
So do you think it's fair in your life at this moment in time for you to be recommending people take Winstrol V?
Why not?
I mean, well, are you a doctor? Are you, do you know the side effects of
I've been on HGH, and I'll tell you this much. You should totally take it if you're short.
You're like, Sylvester Stallone's 75, and he's been taking it for 30 years.
Yeah.
Matt, to answer your question, the sample size on Ashby is all of last year. The guy gets absolutely crushed versus left-handed pitching. His weighted OBA, I think, last year was like over 380 against left-handed.
DB Gnarly. We don't care about that. DB Gnarly. Make sure you don't do squats or deadlifts. Okay, they're obviously not good for you. They're good for other people, though. Stick to THC. Princess Chachu says that's a good one too. That's a good. All the pain you have, it just goes away. Why don't you eat an edible or two today, JJ? Won't that make your back feel? It'll probably make your back feel better.
I know this sounds silly. I will only take edibles like when I'm about to go to sleep.
So tonight,
I might take one tonight. Yeah, it'll be about 2 hours before I go to sleep.
All right. I hope your back feels better though, because I've had a lot of chronic.
I want to be clear. I'm fine. I just figured it'd be a nice prop to show.
So you're just being a pussy asking for some stuff. All right, let's get to our next game then. JJ. How about the Rangers? Dane Dunning against Garrett Cole, again, low 50s, wind blowing in today. Maybe some lefty bats on the Yankees can have some success. Total 6.5, juice to the over, minus 120, even money under, minus 240 Yankees on the money line. Rangers plus 195. Excuse me, I'm getting all choked up here. I want nothing to do with this game. JJ,
agreed. We can pass. Numbers are fair. Current market.
That's it. Get rid of it. Royales with cheese and the Baltimore Orioles, place where we have not had a lot of runs scored this year, surprisingly, JJ, and another low 50s, wind blowing in game. A total of just 7 with Zach Greinke and Jordan Lyles, a pitching matchup. Orioles, even money, minus 120 to the Royals on the road here, plus 150 on the run line. Here's another game. Again, maybe to the under. I know it's only 7, but something's going on there in Baltimore. Oh, I know what it is. They're not using juice balls, and it's been cold.
Well, it's also that wall. So that left, I think it's in left field where they extended
Moved it back.
There's been a few balls that I've seen specifically this year that would have been dongs last year that are getting caught in front of that now 390-foot wall. So there's all three things considered. But again, we know with this park, when the weather's warmer, that ball is going to carry. And I do think we're going to start to see more runs here. Now, granted, the books are over adjusting, right? I mean, I can't even think on one hand how many totals in this park last year were 7.5. There's already been like 6 or 7 totals in this park this year that have been 7.5. So they're making this park to be out like the one in Miami. And it very well might play that way, but we know in warm weather the ball carries in this park. So I guess we'll see as time goes by. As for this game, Greinke wasn't going to go yesterday in this game, and now he is, which has moved the line. To me yesterday, I did like the Royals as a dog or a slight dog because the Orioles have no business being minus 125 against anyone. However, now it's more down the middle. To me, this game is a practical coin flip. So if you're going to lay 115 with Kansas City, I can't imagine this game gets played out 1,000 times. You would be winning money. But with that said, Greinke is an upgrade at pitcher, so I do understand this line, but complete pass for me. And as for the total, yeah, I would say some value on the over at this number. But again, the weather's not great in Baltimore. The ball is certainly not carrying, and Greinke should be able to hold his own. And Lyles is a little better, I think, than most people think. So either way, a lot of arrows going in different directions. Pass.
So before we came on the air, I was looking at a Boston and the White Sox bet here, and Boston was minus 160 coming into this game. Saw it as high as 170. The White Sox have second and third and one out. I've been having success betting live lately, especially this series, JJ, as you and I talked about. I mean, listen, you got to play to your strengths. And I'm not nearly as good of a pregame bettor as you or Joey Work or anything like that. Where I've found my success is in game. And I think if you can find this thing at even money or better at this point, that's what I'm hitting. That'll be one of my 132. So the White Sox got to run in. You get a plus 132 now, JJ, on a game that I already liked. Now you can get it 140. Can we talk about live betting just real quick? Okay.
Sure.
Because I want to bring this up with you. And listen, if there's one thing that this place is transparent, very transparent. So I have just been having a lot more success betting games live than I have pregame. And I just hit the Red Sox plus 140 at home here. I don't see the White Sox doing again what they did yesterday. But what do you think about betting games live or just sticking to what you're strong with? Because I feel like people, I got to bet this game pregame or I won't get a better number. And when I'm live betting, it's like, all right, I'm watching this game. If I don't get in on the game that I want to get into, big deal. That means I may have just saved some money. So how do you attack this? Because I'll look at 3 games on the slate. I'll have all 3 games on the TV and I'll figure out, I'll have a game plan for each of them. And once a number gets to where it is, I'll bet it. That's how I bet. Yeah.
So you could have just asked me my thoughts on live betting baseball instead of you rambling for a minute and a half. My live thoughts on betting baseball are if you have the time, you should be betting live instead of pre because you can take a lot of games and Holden, I'm sure you can relate. You can take a lot of games that you have targets in or that you may have wanted to bet pre that will become a better available line for you. Like you mentioned with this Boston game. And as long as you have the time and you're home and you're, doing whatever, just chilling home or chilling with friends or at a bar, sure. It makes a ton of sense to bet live instead of pre. Problem is not everybody has that available time as often as they would like. Not everybody lives the great rich life of Holden Kushner.
Yeah, but what else are these guys doing today? Like, you don't want to hang out with your mom, so you might as well just live bet.
Yeah, I'm likely going to end up at my mother-in-law's today.
So
But it's okay because NASCAR's on, and we love NASCAR in these woods. So
You're
yeah,
watching NASCAR with your mother-in-law?
I will likely be in front of a television with NASCAR on there. Yeah.
Oh, that's just wonderful. How's the married life, JJ?
It's good. It's
You
good.
still getting the workbench a whole bunch at the same one or no?
No, not at the same level, but
it's already decreased.
I would say it's slightly decreased. Yes.
Yeah. 2027. Check in with JJ. Raw bench. He'll have a kid running around. The next time they'll have sex is when they want another one. It's just going to be awful, JJ.
But yes, I agree. Folks should be doing more live betting than I think. Pre-betting's fun and it's cool in terms of being able to say bet pre, but ROI wise, betting live is, especially if you give yourself targets before the game start, makes a lot more sense.
All right, Iowa dude just grabbed Boston -102. I don't know why you said fuck it, but okay, that's one way of attacking things when you're betting. And then the other thing,
get him, James.
What does that mean? What is Chains Cuisine? What does that mean?
Cuisine. It's like an Italian word for cousin.
Oh, I don't know that word. Cuisine? Do you really call someone a cuisine?
I wouldn't consider myself like an off the boat Italian, so I don't use that word.
You're not?
No, I'm not an off the boat Italian.
What are you?
And neither is my father.
So you're a second, third generation.
Like if I did a 23andMe, I would probably be like 40% Italian.
I don't know what 23andMe is. Is that the lady that had all those babies?
No, I think it's 23andMe. I think 23andMe. I mean, they're checking. 23andMe is the DNA thing, isn't it?
Oh, I thought that was like Octomom or something. Remember that lady? She had like 8 kids, and then they had a show. I never watched the show, but I heard a lot about it.
I love how you 23andMe, and that's where you go to.
Well, I mean, again, what else would I think it was? Also, capiche has got to be a part of every dad's vernacular because the kids love it. You just go capiche, and the kids are like, capiche, daddy. All right, kids, let's start betting big money on today's Pirates-Reds game. And they're like, capiche, daddy. So I have a best bet from this game, a pregame best bet from this game.
Oh, God, so do I. Don't.
Well, one team in this game has given up 6 or more runs in 11 of their last 9 games, and the other team hasn't.
Okay. So I think I'm in good shape then.
So you're not betting. That's a good thing. We don't want the same bet.
I think I'm in good shape.
Well, you don't want the same bet as me. Zach Thompson, Tyler Mahle. Total here is 8 with the Reds hosting the Pirates. -145 for Cincy, 125 for the Pirates. You can hear, I mean, there's these things called caviars that they sell out here in Colorado.
These things called caviar.
And it's just, I'm just all like, just not fish caviar. It's a different type of caviar with a K.
Oh, okay.
And,
okay. You got me there.
Just I got all the phlegm in the world today. Anyways, the Reds have given up 6 or more runs in 9 of 11. Their bullpen is the worst whip, ERA, most home runs, most earned runs. My best bet today, Pittsburgh over 3.5. I don't care about the damn weather. Hopped on this trend 4 days ago. We are 3-1 ever since, and I'm hoping to go 4-1 today. JJ, break it down.
Okay, so best bet, Reds first 5. Reds first 5. I bet them on the money line, and I bet them -0.5 run. I split that down the middle. At FanDuel, you can get 134 on the money line, and at FanDuel, you can get dog money on the Reds first 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll split that here, and the Reds first 5 -0.5 plus 104. Okay, so the main reason why I like these two, and again, split them down the middle, not like a 2-unit bet or whatever, but I split it down the middle. Tyler Mahle is the best pitcher the Reds have. He's the only decent pitcher the Reds have, and he has been quite unlucky this season. Now, granted, walks have been a problem for him, but he's going to face a Pittsburgh lineup that doesn't exactly put a whole lot of pressure on opposing pitchers. And for me, this Reds team has been shown to be decent with their sticks. If there's one team this year we can say has been an over team, now granted, their bullpen and their starting pitching has been a reason for it, but this has been an over team all season. And to your point on other opposing teams scoring runs against them, I think that, look, you more or less want Mahle to be out of the game by the 5th or the 6th because this Reds bullpen is disastrous.
And bet it live.
Yeah. So I think overall, for me, it's a huge pitching edge. I look at the lineups, and to me, it's a lineup edge. And I'm getting a fairly cheap price. And I think that if the Reds weren't having a historically bad start to the year, I think this line would be actually closer to like 165, 170 because the Reds just aren't winning games. And they did win a game yesterday, but they ended up losing the next one. But the sticks are live. They're hitting. And they're facing a pitcher who's very vulnerable. Now, granted, he's not nearly as bad as his ERA says, but his advanced stuff has him in the 6s. I think the Reds are going to be able to plate some runs early. And if Mayway can just limit the Pirates' bats a bit, I think this might be a cruise control first 5 win.
All right, couple things here. Bobby, 3-0 White Sox. Chris, LMAO. This looks like the chat on the DFS side. Like something happens, it's all over. Like in baseball, you can never come back, okay? You know what time this is, JJ? Responsible gambling, 7 units at plus 250. That's
yeah, like
so my tips of the day are this. Go on a Deco Winstraw cycle. And just remember, if you already have a bet that has good odds, but you can get better odds if your team is farther down, 7 to 8 units every time. That's what I'm going to give you here on Mother's Day. The next question is, where's the fax man from Stephen Jang?
Back in D.C.
You're not going to see him on Mother's Day?
I saw him the last 2 days. 2 days in a row.
How'd that work out for you? What was going on?
It's usually never good. We played Monopoly on Friday, and we went bowling yesterday with my little sister.
With your little sister? Yeah, didn't she like ask you for weird stuff?
She asked me for a basketball.
Yeah, and how'd that work out for
her? It was pouring rain all weekend, so it didn't matter.
And Keg is with me on this one. Definitely a responsible bet. 7. Remember, this is the way. 7 to 8 units on a better number than you went inside, and guaranteed you'll probably lose money long term, but you'll have a lot of fun. And that's really what betting is about, right, JJ? Especially as somebody that tries to make a lot of money from it.
I'll agree.
You agree?
I agree if it'll move the show along.
It'll move the show along. Our next, you know what? We do need to hurry up, don't we? A's and Twins, Dalton Jeffries, Chris Paddock, the pitching matchup. What's up with Chris Paddock, man? Wasn't he just an awesome freaking prospect, and then it's just not there anymore? Minus 170 Twins, total 7, A's plus 150. Horrible weather again. I mean, look at this. You think in July we're going to have totals of 7, 7.5, 6.5, and 8, and nothing. There's no double-digit totals here today, is there? Not even close. There's not even a 9. There's not even a 9.
Yeah, I think that it's all the factors included, but I do believe with the weather getting warmer towards the summer, I think we're going to start seeing those 9s and 9.5s pop again. But, again, time will tell, right? It's still a relatively small sample. I wouldn't say it's super small, but, we're what, 15, 16% into the season already? So, do we go crazy on these numbers? I do think it's been colder, deeper into the season than I think we're normally used to. But we'll see. Once the weather gets warmer, I think we'll have a better idea on just how much this potential new ball and the humidors are affecting everything.
We're going to be just fine. Everything's going to be fine. So do you want anything to do with this one?
So yeah, this Target Field's been an undershow as well, right? I mean, Chris Paddock, you mentioned how the super good prospect. I mean, with San Diego, he seemed to be very good at home and shit on the road. Having a decent start here in Minnesota. Dalton Jeffries, though, is somebody I'm not a fan of. But again, there hasn't been runs at the stadium. So, the number's low in 7, but Paddock should be able to mow through this athletic lineup, should be. Walks are always a concern with him. Dalton Jeffries, could get exposed a bit behind this Twins team. But again, this Twins team as a whole is not exactly hitting. I mean, outside of Buxton, this team doesn't really hit well. So, yeah, easy pass for me.
And then we said, what about NBA? This is not an NBA betting show. It's not an NBA betting show. Sorry about that. I do have a cool note for you, though. Home teams are 12-2 straight up and against the spread over the last 12. Home court is worth about 2.5 points right now. So there you go. There's your NBA betting things. Faxman still owes me one after that bench.
If a 3-set loss is a benches disaster, I mean,
what happened? He lost, obviously.
I think he had multiple outs on that. I think he had about 5 figures on benches at minus 139 or minus 141 against some other chick. And either way, he gave it on Twitter and it lost. And people like George obviously lost their shirt. You hate to see it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate to see it. I think it's funny. But sorry about that. Sorry about that, George. Do you know Stephen Young, by the way? He's my producer on the VSiN side, George. So you've got the same last name. If I ever saw JJ Uncle Dunkle as a last name, I would say, hey, are you related to Uncle Dunkle? JJ Uncle Dunkle. And they'd say, yes. I just don't see a lot of Youngs out there. Tigers, Astros. no weather to be concerned about in this game. Willie Peralta, Jake Odorizzi. Let's see here. Astros -1.5. So on the run line, +112. The total's high at 8.5. Astros -180. Tigers +155. I mean, I guess if you're gonna go anywhere, maybe your dong for a shot today. But I stayed away from this one, JJ. I'm not even gonna target this one live. What do you got?
Slight value on the over at 8.5. Didn't love it enough to bet it pre, and won't bet this live either. I'm just saying that if this total was 8, at a pick'em, I would be firing on this over. To me, this should be 8.5 with the over vigged at like 125. I think it's like 110. There should be a lot of foot traffic in this game. Willie Peralta is certainly somebody susceptible to good lineups for sure. And Jake Odorizzi, it feels like every one of his starts is always rocky. So yeah, I think you're gonna get a lot of foot traffic here. Will it result to 9 runs? I guess time will tell, but I didn't like it enough to fire, but yeah, slight lean over.
What was rockier, him or Robinson Cano's tenure with the Mets, which is now officially over?
Woof. I don't know. That deal made no sense to me. I didn't like, I'll be honest, Holden, as a kind of closeted Seattle fan, I wouldn't consider myself a fanatic. I didn't like when they went after him. So the fact that the Mets went after him after that, I thought was quite.
It was very good. Not very good. Mets Phillies game 2. We're not messing with it, right? We don't have anything there.
Yeah, I don't really mess with
let's pass. Aren't you glad you got me off the NASCAR show to derail the show like this? Imagine if Joey was still here. We wouldn't even be through 3 games yet. I
think it would have went a little different. Joey's a little bit more of a hard ass than I am.
Should be like, hurry up, fucker. Let's go.
Yeah, that's the Joey accent.
Come on, fucker. Yeah, fuck you, fucker. Let's go.
So now Joey works an Italian gangster.
He's part Croatian.
Fair.
St. Louis and San Francisco. This one's in San Francisco. You know what? Just doing the DFS thing, I always see they're going, oh, the winds are blowing out at 25 miles an hour in San Francisco. What you don't understand is that it doesn't matter because there's a bowl.
Did you skip the Guardians Blue Jays game?
God damn it! You've got.
Remember when you said your whole new format?
I did skip it. God damn it! I did. Now I have the thing in front of me, and I still can't freaking do it. I still forget a game.
It's a simple gig.
You ever wonder why at other places I don't forget things like that, but I work with you and I do?
I feel like you're purposely under some type of influence for every show you do with me.
Maybe it's prep time. Maybe I just get so excited that I can just be myself and I don't have to be this professional person.
I feel like that can't be the answer.
Who the fuck are the Guardians? Well, stick around for that one, buddy. Blue Jays Guardians. We'll go back to that. Alek Manoah, who just doesn't seem to lose. Connor Pilkington. I did some research on him this morning for you, JJ. Do you know much about Connor Pilkington?
I knew you would. These young guys that don't make a lot of MLB starts, you're typically on top. If there's one thing you're typically on top of, it's these individuals.
River Rat, I don't drink. I am strictly THC. I do not drink. I actually had a shot of Ouzo 2 weeks ago, and I had a hangover for the full next day. I'm not kidding. It just doesn't sit well with me. Alcohol does not make me feel good. Anyways, Pilkington. Let's go to the lefty, right? I got my notes right here. He came over in the Cesar Hernandez trade. Does that do anything for you? 5 shutout innings in his major league career this year. First major league start, 120 Ks on 110 innings last season. He's got 4 pitches. He tops out at 94. And, the Blue Jays, we'll see what they could do against lefties, though. I'm not that high on the Blue Jays as I should be. 7.5 is the total. Juice the over -115. Guardians +170 on the money line.
Yeah, I think this line is maybe steamed a bit too far for me to love at this moment, but it is tough not to like the Blue Jays in this spot. Manoah is arguably one of the best pitchers in MLB against right-handed bats. And it's not like the Guardians are going to send a lot of lefties at him. And then on the other end, the Blue Jays are also one of the better teams in MLB against left-handed pitching. So yeah, there's just you got all the arrows going the Blue Jays' way. Again, call it chalky if you will. The Blue Jays are in a very good spot today against the Guardians.
You love the Blue Jays today. You love them.
If I loved them, I would have bet them. But I do think this line steamed a bit.
And you said they're in a really good spot. Why don't you just they're
210, which would imply that I would think they would have to win this game about 74% of the time. And I'm not sure that that's the case.
You don't think they'd win this game 74% of the time? Neither do I.
That's 3 out of 4. They have to go 3-1 consistently.
Neither do I. I'm just agreeing with you, okay? just so I can move the show faster.
Go.
When the wind's blowing out at 25 miles an hour, it doesn't matter in San Francisco because it is the actual game conditions. Unless you're Barry Bonds, you can hit the ball 300 feet in the air and gets carried out in the jet stream. Don't worry about the wind. Okay. If it is warm and sunny, you will see the ball actually carry in San Francisco. It's something to keep in mind too. Dakota Hudson, Jacob Junis. I can't believe that guy has that name. 8 is the total. Cardinals plus 115. What do you want here?
Is today the first time you've heard of Jacob Junis?
No.
He says
I just put 2 and 2 together that his last name is like Junis. I never looked at it that way.
Okay. So anytime you throw a lefty at the Cardinals, Junis is a lefty, right? I'm not talking out of my ass.
Yeah, is this the first time you've ever seen Jake Junis?
I feel like I'm confusing with the other Royals, but he was on the Royals, right? Junis?
Who?
Jacob Junis. At some point.
Jacob Junis.
So who am I confused? What lefty am I confused with?
Junis is a right-hander.
Yeah, I must be confusing with some other pitcher from the Royals. You hate to see it. But anyway, so that's a good thing. In favor of the Giants.
I mean, he did pitch with the Royals.
No, I knew he did. I guess I said I must be confusing with another lefty from there. You hate to see it, though. I
like to see it. Makes you look like a dumbass.
For the last few seasons has had pretty woeful road home splits. But again, there was a ton of runs in this game yesterday. Weather isn't exactly ideal for runs in this park, but yesterday the ball was really stopping all over the park. Do they continue that hot hitting? I don't know. 7.5 total is where you'd figure, I guess, a game like this would be. Both pitchers are susceptible. Both lineups are decent. But either way, again, with arrows going multiple ways, easy pass for me.
Okay. Here's one. We love picking on Eric Fetty, one of the worst pitchers in baseball. Nationals, Angels. I really want to see the lineup for this game, JJ, because, 4.5 runs is completely attainable. I don't know if
100% Duffy, Ian. Good call.
Huh?
Duffy. Who I was confusing him with.
That was Duffy. That was Ian McKinley. Way to go, Ian. So we got an 8.5 total. We got the Nationals plus 180. I love what this rotation's doing out of the gate here for the Angels. We could have a playoff team finally with Shohei and Syndergaard and Sandoval be in the rotation. They've obviously got a ton of bats. I wonder who gets the day off, but on paper, there's a complete mismatch. Is there a way to attack this from a total, or is it a fade?
It's a sort of fade. The only reason I say is because I think there's some slight value on the Nationals to go over their team total. Really? You can get it 3.5 at dog at plus 100, I believe. I don't love it. I know Sandoval is due for some regression. Granted, the Nationals might not be that team, but the Nationals can hit lefties a little better than righties. But again, I don't love the spot by any means. But if a gun in my head, I would have bet Nationals over their team total.
You always say gun to your head. It's not a good thing. And then I always talk to your dad about it. He said multiple guns to his head. It's very odd. Why should your dad put himself in that situation? Why doesn't he just pay his debts?
Yeah, I can't speak on that.
Rays and Monniers, the Mariners, George Kirby and Ryan Yarbrough. George Kirby going to the mound today. I know you love yourself some Seattle Mariners. Have you ever been to a game out in now it's T-Mobile Park?
I have. I watched one of Felix Hernandez's last starts out there.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I was at the first game there, so it was probably before you were born. And I must say, I have a very nice connection to that ballpark. It was Safeco. They got a train running in the back. When it's sunny, there's nothing better. They got a roof when it rains.
Oh, it was great, especially being here in New York, where tickets are out of control as far as price wise. $200, second row behind home plate, unlimited liquor, dinner, the whole bit. Can't be.
Yeah, and nobody goes.
Nobody was there. Nobody was around us. It was great.
No, because they haven't been to the playoffs for what, 20 years, 21 years.
And even the few times they did, they got spanked by the Yankees.
Yeah. Rays plus 105, Mariners minus 125, totals 8, juice to the over at even money. JJ, was Griffey there? Yes, Princess Chachu. Sorry about that for a second. Yes, Griffey was there. A-Rod was there. Randy Johnson was there. It's a pretty damn good team I covered. 98, 99.
Other best bet for me here, first 5 under 4. Oh, I didn't put first 5. First 5 under 4 minus 115 DraftKings. It might be better now. It was minus 115 when I got it. But let me see what it is now real quick. Actually, it's probably better because this total is now 8. It might be better now. Oh no, it's still -4, -115. Okay, so the main reason is Kirby's been great. Kirby's been great in Double-A. They're bringing him up to hope to spark a little life into this rotation. That's kind of been underachieving this year, right? The Mariners came off to a really hot start to begin the year and then really tailed off. I think Kirby, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I think 32 strikeouts, 24 innings, Double-A. Kid's got some filthy stuff, and Yarborough, is certainly a lot better than what he's shown thus far. What I do like about this number in specific is the Mariners have just not been hitting the baseball. Granted, they started out really hot, and they have just really tailed off since. And again, I think this Kirby kid should be able to slow down this Tampa Bay lineup. We don't have the lineup yet in front of us, I don't think. But either way, love the spot. I think this game plays relatively slow scoring-wise, especially early on. I didn't want the full game because I do worry a bit about both these bullpens. Tampa's bullpen was a little taxed. They used a few good arms yesterday, and they've been using good arms recently. And Seattle's bullpen I'm not in love with. Yeah, either way, love the first 5 under here at 4, -115.
First 5 under, -115. Okay, yep. Good to hear. Next game, Rockies, Diamondbacks. Zach Gallen and the Diamondbacks, -155 money line. Neither one of these teams showing too much offense. Although the Rockies scored 5 yesterday, 7.5 is the total here. But I must say, for a guy, I love German Marquez. And I've watched every single one of his starts. The dude can't throw strikes consistently. It's very, very concerning. Now Buddy Black's saying he's concerned about it too. Marquez is not the same guy that we know. That being said, Arizona doesn't have a good offense. So I wonder what your thoughts are here on the Rockies and the Diamondbacks this afternoon.
I'm with you because I'm more of a Marquez guy for sure as well. But yeah, it's been tough to watch him, right? I mean, I know the one game I bet that he was in it where I bet an under, he kind of got blasted, I think, by 3 errors in the same inning. This Rockies team has got to be the worst fielding team in baseball. And it's not exactly like that's going to build confidence for a pitcher. So yeah, it's been difficult for Marquez. I do think he's going to wind up being a lot better than what he's shown. Is it going to be here? Who knows? But Zach Gallen, I mean, this dude's been really good. Maybe he's getting a little too much respect in this spot. So I'll call it some value on Colorado grabbing a half-run first 5. For me, some value, not enough where I want to fire. But with that said, that would be the only look I'd have in this game would be grabbing Marquez plus a half-run first 5.
Oh, okay. Very good. I still got to put that Pirates bet in. Okay. Maybe you could talk me out of it before I do it. Marlins, Padres. Love me some Marlins, man. These starters. But we got Trevor Rogers, Joe Musgrove. God, Musgrove. Total stud, -155 Padres, 135, plus 135 Marlins. Total here is just 6.5, JJ, with the juice to the over at -125. I don't see too many runs being scored. Talk to me here. Any way to attack this game, or is it a fade?
Yeah, tough spot, right? I mean, kudos to Joey Work. I think he played Marlins first 5 yesterday. Nice little wire-to-wire winner for him there with behind Pablo. As for this, look, Musgrove is super good at home. It's on the road where he has some concerns. It hasn't been shown this year yet. At least I haven't noticed it yet this year. But Trevor Rogers is much better than he's shown this year as well, which probably points to this total. He had a 60-degree day in San Diego with 2 good arms. 6.5 total is likely not small enough. So yeah, I'm with you there, slightly and under, but I would want to go first 5 instead because I'm not in love with these bullpens for sure. But yeah, I didn't bet this game, but that would be right.
Game 2 of the Orioles, we're not going to mess with that. It's a doubleheader. Game 2 of the Rangers, Yankees, doubleheader. We're not going to mess with that. So the last game is tonight's game. And I was having a good conversation on DFS side this morning because pitchers are now starting to say that they're using the juice balls in the nationally televised games, that they're different. And if you watched last Sunday, Mets, Phillies went off. I mean, can we buy into this? Could
you imagine if somehow that gets proven true? I mean, how ignorant.
I believe it. No. I really think that they have so much of this shitty baseball that they're not going to just throw them out. They're just going to use those, and they'll give you the good baseballs in the big games. And by the time we get to summer, the shitty balls will be done with, and they'll use all the bouncy balls.
What are they even mocking up the baseball for to begin with? I guess that's.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. At this point, they know they need more offense, right?
It's great. I mean, the sport needs a lot more. Yeah, that's the sad part. As for this game, Walker Buehler, dude's a complete stud. Just another great start for him here. And look, I've said this before. I'm just not a Marcus Stroman guy. Felt like he had a good gig in New York. I guess he chased money in Chicago, I guess. But either way, Stroman needs ground balls to be successful. He doesn't strike out enough guys. Dodgers line is going to put a ton of pressure on him. And again, if it's right with these juice balls at night, definitely not going to help Stroman's chances. I don't bet a lot of Dodgers games to begin with, though, so it's an easy pass for me. I just think their lines are always super steamed, and fading them isn't exactly fun either. I think I bet against them once this year in total, and that was with Darvish, and I was fortunate enough to win that game. But as for this, yeah, I'm never going to be the guy to ask for good tips on Dodger games, but I do not like Stroman, so this would be a spot where you maybe can go run line Dodgers, but that just feels too chalky at 190. So easy pass for me.
That's it. We're done. We got through the whole slate. Can you believe it?
And what was your best bet? I know you had the Pirates, which is
Pirates over 3.5 runs minus 108.
Okay.
As you smirk at that.
Okay. I mean, there's a way we can both win. There's also a way we can both lose.
Well, I think even better thing to do is if Molly gets through 3 innings and this thing's down to 2.5, then you hop on that. But
Pirates team total over 3.5 minus 108.
Yeah.
Okay. Love it. Holden, good to have you back.
Was it?
I do. I know that the show went off a little off the rails, but I think that's what we know we get with you. That's a good
happen when I'm here. Yeah.
That's a good thing, though.
It's got to be entertaining. So the other thing, you're doing NASCAR today while I go hiking?
I'm doing NASCAR. I can't wait to call bullshit on my friends Kegger and Coop.
See, I couldn't do that because I don't know anything. The only guy I know in NASCAR is Greg Biffle, and I don't even know if he runs anymore.
he does. Well, he does. Not a lot.
He's not good anymore?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, do you want to say anything about ladies before we leave?
No, I don't even understand the question.
Well, I mean, it's Mother's Day, so you want to say something.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yes. Mother's Day for the third time. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers out there. Yeah. 3 times a charm. It's a good thing Holden mentioned that. Yes, hopefully you do something nice for your mothers, your mother-in-laws, whoever's in your life, grandma, or family members that are mothers, whoever, aunts, whatever. Keep up the good work.
Yeah. And call mom this afternoon because she's horny. This is the day she's going to get it on. Don't disturb her tonight. Make sure that you call her this afternoon, okay?
That's a good point, Holden. I didn't even think about the horny moms. That's a good point.
About all the.
Yeah, sure, exactly. Yes, Holden, glad to have you back. Looking forward to the show weekly moving forward. Joey Work will be on next week with us as well. Should be an interesting dynamic. Gave you three total bets. Gamble responsibly.
Why should it be an interesting dynamic? We've worked together a million times. What's so interesting about that dynamic?
I think what makes it interesting is if this same behavior replicates next week, it will be an interesting dynamic.
Oh, Joey's going to get all upset?
Yeah.
Joey's going to get upset.
We're going to get heated.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy.
But yes, folks, gamble responsibly, stay safe, and as always, run pure. We'll catch you next week.
Responsible.